Hi, my name is Sean. Here today to talk about something that kind of hit close to home and something that I actually just read about again the other day in a paper that is becoming a very large issue in the U.S. And it has been for quite a while. So the other day I was flipping through the newspaper and reading through some articles and happened to come across a headline that read, "Another middle school child committed suicide today." That's something that's hard for me to understand coming from a background with a small school and everyone was very close and tight knit. Um, to understand why a middle schooler would have so much stress or so many issues that they would want to commit suicide. And reading farther into the article, it became apparent that the cause of it was the child was stressed out and troubled over being bullied at school. So myself, like many people, probably think of bullies in a certain light. But having researched a little bit farther and dug a little bit more into what today's bully represents, it's a little bit different. And the position that I'm kind of taking on this is that as parents and teachers and anyone that has anything to do with these children throughout their day and at school, we need to be more objective and we need to be more aware of what it is that today's bully actually is. So the act of bullying has actually become a very big issue across the nation's school systems. And today's bullies aren't exactly what you would think or what we may assume would be a bully. I know when I first think of a kid getting bullied at school, one of the biggest things is, a bigger child or someone physically stronger, possibly beating them up for their milk money. This is something that, I experienced as a kid or witnessed as a kid. And that's about all as far as it ever went, other than maybe a few schoolyard scraps. But today, now we have things like movies and cartoons that portray these bullies as being large social misfits, and that's actually not the case in most times in most schools. So the bullies of today are actually more psychologically capable and socially well adapted to be even more of an aggressive offender or a bigger a larger deterrent for the other children being able to stay in school and focus on their school and be able to do well. So the second point here that I kind of want to make is that I would say that we all probably have what would be called like a common view of what a bully is or what we think a bully would be or the things that we should look for, and then the actual reality. And as far as the reality is concerned, I'm going to cover kind of 3 points that after doing a little bit of research that made me more aware of what it is that today's bullies actually are all about. So in a survey that was done in California, they surveyed 2,000 students, and the results would probably surprise you that the children actually named people as being bullies as people who were not the social outcasts. So when we look at what we think bullies are, or what's described or depicted in television shows and things like of that nature, we probably think of them as a more common view of social outcasts, children that have a troubled home life, as well as possibly just hungry for attention. I know that was the excuse of many things when things happened when I was in school. They just need attention. They're just acting out because they don't have any attention. We think that these students are typically victims of a terrible home life, and that's why they're acting out. When the truth of it, in today's age, in today's school, based on the survey results that we've seen from several different surveys, the reality is that these children that are bullies are actually very socially well adjusted. They tend to be rewarded for their behavior, and they're actually recognized and respected by their peers as being a leader in the school or someone that could be looked up to. So an example of this would be head cheerleaders, picking on other girls in the school that are not as popular. captain of the football team, captain of the basketball team. These are just a few examples of people that are outstanding and in a good spotlight in the school, but that um, can be very much so a bully to the other students who aren't as popular. They tend to thrive on that good feeling that it gives them, and that they feel it's okay to act like this because it adds to their popularity. Um, they're not misfits in any way. They fit in very well. They're psychologically well adapted and able to cause stress and concern for children who are not quite so well adapted. And the rewards in most situations that they get from their peers and the respect and attention that they get, encouragement, if you will, often outweighs any type of loss or anything that they may come into. So these situations need to really be observed and reviewed, and we need to be more aware of what's going on in the schools and exactly what type of children are coming into this role and causing trouble for the other students. We can't just look for the big hulking brute who's beating people up in the hallway to steal their milk money. Today, it can be people attacking over cell phones via text message, Facebook, very well adjusted children causing other children to possibly commit suicide. This is just my stance on it. A few things that I feel we should really take a look at, and if we're going to be active in our children's lives, something that we might be able to do to help out. Thank you for your time.